doing in a division properties of exponents. And this foldable is actually a really good foldable because it also covers some stuff that we've already learned. So when you have it in front of you, it's actually really easy to put together. You just fold. I'm going to pick up Erica's. I'm going to rip it out of her hand and give her 7 paper cuts as I do it. And then you just meet the pages in the middle. And then we're going to work all these problems, and these are so good because you don't have to copy any of the problems down that we worked. It's going to give you a ton of examples, and you're going to leave here, and there's nothing you're not going to know about them or multiplying them or dividing them, or if they're negative, you're going to kill it. I do want to remind you one more time that it is your job, if you don't understand, to come in tomorrow at go time to get everything lined out so that you're going to be good to go when I'm not here because you have a test on Tuesday. Here we go. The power of a quotient. We learned this a little bit yesterday. When you have a quotient to a power, you just distribute the power to the numerator and the denominator. So if you have a fraction like this one that is all squared, remember you get a 2 and you get a 2 and you get a 2. Everybody gets a 2. So this just becomes 3 squared p to the 6th over 7 squared. That's the first way to write it. Those of you that are still taping your foldable, you're going to be behind. It's going to be behind. You can wait and do that when we're done. And you're going to not be lost then. And so this becomes 9p to the 6th, and over 49. All right. And then negative exponents. We already learned this. This was day 1. If your exponent is negative, you move it down to the denominator and make it positive. If it's in the denominator, you move it up to the numerator and make it positive. It is so easy to get rid of a negative exponent. And then, we're going to skip this one because I'm going to come back and show you that in a minute. Then we also learned that anything to the 0 power is 1, no matter what it looks like. 15 to the 0 power is 1. B over C, it doesn't matter what B over C is, anything to the 0 power is 1. Which brings us to one of the last things that we need to learn about exponents. Watch this. Let's just say I have 3 to the 5th over 3 to the 3rd. That just means it's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 over 3 times 3 times 3. Well, what do you do when you have the same numbers over each other in a fraction? What do you do? Yeah, you can cancel them out. So we'll cancel that out and that out, and that out and that out, and that out and that out. And how many 3's do we have left? 2. So that means that equals 3 squared. So you can already see, what do I do to the exponents in a quotient like this? I just subtract. So I don't know if this is already on your foldable or you need to write it. Oh, it's already there. So we're just going to simplify this one right here. We have g to the 3rd over g to the 1st. So how many g's will we have left? 2. So that's going to be g squared. Then we have h to the 5 over h to the 2. So how many h's will we have left? 3. So when you simplify this, it becomes g squared over h cubed. And that's it. I do have one little thing I'm going to show you after we work a lot of these examples, but it's a no-brainer as well, and you will be totally fine with it. So, in 5th period, I thought I was going to let y'all work on your own through these examples and then check each other's answers, but that didn't work out well, so I think it's just going to be better if I work each of these with you. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's in the upper right-hand side of your foldable. 5 to the 5th over 5 to the 2nd. How many 5's would we have left? 5 minus 2 is 3, so this is going to be 5 cubed. Yes? Starting out easy peasy. All right, this is m to the 6th over m to the 4th. 6 minus 4 is 2, so this would be m squared. And then we'll just add some extra variables. We don't care because we got this. 5 minus 2 is 3. So that's going to be p to the third. 4 minus 1 is 1. 4 minus 1 is 3, duh. So it's going to be n cubed. P cubed, n cubed. And then on number 4, we have 2 minus 1. So that's going to be 1. So that's just going to be a to the first, which is just a. Easy peasy. Okay. Now we're going to do 5, 6, 7, and 8. X to the 5 over x to the 5. Look what that means. Gone. See ya. Right? Same thing over same thing equals 1. So now we're down to 3 minus 2. What's 3 minus 2? So the answer to this is just y. All right. On this one, we realize we have negative 2 over 14. So I see that as a fraction, negative 2 over 14. So I'm just going to kind of put the negative sign there and let it hang out. So then I have 2 over 14. What does that simplify to? 1 over 7. So I know I'm of a numerator and 7 on the bottom. And I know my answer is going to be negative. Wish that would go away. There we go. Okay. So now I've got 7 minus 5. What is 7 minus 5? 2. So then that's just going to be y squared on top with 7 on the bottom, and it's going to be negative. Now this one's interesting. Here's an x here and here's an x here. They're not right underneath each other, but they may as well be, right? So we cross that off. When we cross that off, and then that just leaves us with 6 minus 4, which is what? 2, y squared. Okay, now we have a lot going on here, but it's no different. It's just longer. We've got an r to the 7 and an r to the third down here. So what does that leave us r-wise? R to the fourth. Then we have 7 minus 3 on my ends. What is that? 4. Perfect. Oh, and then we have a t squared and a t squared, so that can go away, right? So that whole answer is r to the fourth, n to the fourth. And we've already finished 8 of these problems. We're killing it. Going over now, this is going to be to your right. This is going to be the top right ones. So now we have some powers to the power. So we're going to do our powers to the power first. In other words, we're going to distribute those exponents, and then we go back to figuring it out. So you get a 3, and you get a 3, and you get a 3, and you get a 3 down here too. Well, 2 cubed, I've done enough right now to know that 2 cubed is what? 8, yes. So 8, a to the what? 2 times 3 is 6. B to the third is just b to the third. And then on the bottom, that 3 goes down to the a as well. So now we just go back and do what we did. So you're going to have to write really small, right? Now we just get rid of anything that is the same on top and bottom. That leaves us with 8. A to the how many? 3. And then b third stays all by itself. Okay, then we're going to just, you get a 4 and you get a 4, and then we do that, and we do that. So that leaves us with 2 to the 4th. Am I right? What's 2 to the 4th? 16, yes. And then r to the 20th, and then w to the 12. Perfect. Now we work on the bottom. Then that's going to be r to the, yes, and then that's going to be w to the 12. Okay. It's just a game. Now, I automatically am obsessed with this because I used to cross the w's out, right? And then what's 20 minus 16? 4. So at 16, r to the 4th. Done. So it looked complicated, but honestly, once we got into it, we realized it's not that bad. Okay, let's do 2. I'm kind of all over the place. I didn't do these quite in order. Okay. So again, I know y'all are tired of me pretending like I'm Oprah, but I really was having a good time. All right. 4 cubed. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. One more. 64. And then that's going to be p to the 12th, r to the 12th. Perfect. Then that's going to be 3 cubed, which is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. Then p to the yes, and then r to the yes. And then we have to ask ourselves, is there a common factor between 64 and 27 outside of 1? There's actually not. And so now we're just down to 64p to the what? 6th, r to the 6th, and then we need to remember to put our 27 underneath there. Okay, and then again, we'll just pass this 4 out, and I'm going to, oh, you get a 4, you get a 4, you get a 4. Sorry, I just love doing that. All right, 3 to the 4th is just 3 times 3, which is 9, times 3 times 3, which is 9. So what is that going to be? 81, r to the what? 24th, n to the what? 12th, over 2 to the 4th, which is, yeah, I feel like we just did that one. 16, r to the 20th, n to the, okay. 81 and 16 don't have a common factor. That's okay. That's going to be 24 minus 20, r to the what? 4, n to the 8. Wow, that looked so complicated, and then we don't want to forget our 16 on the bottom. Turned out to be kind of easy. Okay, bottom row. Now we just need to be aware of our negative numbers. That is it. We just have to be aware of negative numbers. So this is 2 minus negative 3. What is that? 5. So guess what? All that, and this answer is just 2 to the 5th. And the top one's just going to be 1 minus negative 4. What is that? And so this answer is just going to be m to the 5th. And then this is going to be negative 8 minus 3. What would that be? It's going to be negative 11. So if it's negative 11, p to the negative 11, that just means it's 1 over p to the 11. So all our rules still apply. We're just adding and subtracting, basically. And then this one becomes negative 4 minus negative 5. What does that become? 1. So this answer is just B. Look, we're almost done. Look how close we are. I almost should have put these on separate pages. Okay. Oh, I like what I see here. Look what I see. What is that? So what does this whole top part be? That's just 1. 1 over 4. Oh, wait. Can I have that? So we're just going to move that on top, and that's just going to become W. And then on the bottom, what does that just become? 4. There. Perfect. So that was easy. And I'm just going to erase this little W, this 1 right here. Whoa. How about if I just rewrite it? Okay. All right. Now on this one, see this one? I'm going to go ahead and distribute first, and then I'm going to do my math. So that's going to end up being A to the 4th, yes, B to the 6th, over A to the what? Negative 2, and then B to the negative 2. So now I just do my math. What is 4 minus negative 2? 6. So it's going to be A to the 6th, 6 minus negative 2. 8. So it's B to the 8th. So really, the math isn't hard. You just have to remember what steps you're doing. Okay, so on number 7, I like this. This y to the 0 is going to go away, right? And that just leaves me with 4 minus negative 2. What is that? 6. So this whole answer is just the same as x to the 6th. And then on number 8, Just one more time. You get a 2, and you get a 2, and you get a 2. You're going to be all right. Okay, so that leaves me with 6 squared. Can we go ahead and figure that one out? What is that? 36, and then a to the negative 2, b to the 2. Notice I'm not trying to move things now because I don't want to be all over the place. And then b to the, what? 8. Okay. So I'm just going to rewrite the 36, and then I see that that's a squared, but it's negative. So where's that going to go? On the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the bottom, and then I'm just going to see where my other one ends up with. I've got 2 minus 8. What is 2 minus 8? Negative 6. So it's going to be b to the 6 down here. Then we just have 9 and 10, and then 11 and 12, and we have killed this. Okay. All I'm going to do first is distribute powers in a power. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this here, right here, and I'm not even going to try to do anything else. So that's just going to be 3 squared. What's 3 squared? 9. R what? Squared. T squared. U to the, I'm not going to worry about moving things. I don't want to do too many steps, and I know I've got other stuff at the bottom that I can work with. Okay. The 9 I know is going to stay up there. 2 minus negative 1 for the R. What is that? 3. So that's going to be on top. R cubed. Ooh! What can I do with this T? You cancel it out. See ya. And then I have negative 4 minus 7. What is negative 4 minus 7? Negative 4 minus 7. Negative 4 minus, yep, negative 11. Minus 7 is going to be negative 11. So where's that going? On the bottom. So it makes it a lot easier if you don't move it until it's your last step, because maybe you won't have to. Okay, number 10. I'm just going to distribute this negative. I'm going to rewrite the top just because I don't even want to think about that right now. That's going to be m to the what? Negative 2. And then t to the what? Negative 3. All I did was distribute that negative 1 as an exponent, power to a power. Now, all I have to do is go, all right, negative 3 minus negative 2. What is that going to be? What's it going to be? It's just going to be negative 1. So where is that m going to end up? On the bottom. So we're going to put it on the bottom. Oh, and that's negative 3 and negative 3. That's the same thing, right? What can I do with that? Cancel it out. So I didn't end up with anything on top. So what do? I just put a 1 there. All right, look at this. We only have 2 more to go. You guys are doing so good. Actually, so happy for y'all. Okay. Oh, what? What? What is the answer to this? Yes. Who cares about the rest? All right. Last but not least, you get a negative 3. And this is the only time this is the last time I get to do it. So just bear with me. Okay. So negative 2, and I'm going to put it in parentheses, to the negative 3, m to the what? Negative 3, n to the what? Negative 6, okay, over 4, m, negative 6, n to the 4th. So I didn't do a whole lot except for just distribute. Okay, this is going to end up being, what is this going to end up, where is that 2 going to end up going? It's going to go on the bottom, and it's going to be negative 2 to the 3rd power, right? So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is what? It's negative 8. So I know it's going to go on the bottom, so I'm just going to put it down here, and I'm not going to forget my negative. Now, I see that I have a 4 down here. I don't want to forget that. So now I'm just going to take care of my m and my n. Negative 3 minus negative 6. Negative 3 minus negative 6. What is that? So m to the third, where's that going to go? Up top. And then negative 6 minus 4 is what? Negative 10. So that's going to go where? On the bottom, so we make it a positive 10. And then the last thing I need to do is, oh, that's an n, that's an n, that's an n. Just kidding. Whoa, my thing's too big. What was that? N to the 10th? Yes? Okay. What is 8 times 4? 32. So it's negative m cubed over 32 n to the 10th. Then remember, the negative came from this. Negative 2 times negative 2, so positive 4 times negative 2 is a negative 8. So I just stuck my negative there. I have one other thing I want to show you, and it's this. And I just want you to look at this. We know that x to the negative n is the same thing as 1 over x to the n. Do not be taping and folding in your foldable right now, because you're going to lose this. All right. So if I do that, that just means it's 1 divided by a times b over n. But do we divide by fractions? We don't. What do? We flip and then we multiply, yes? So we flip them first. And so as we do that, then this becomes, oops, so sorry. This becomes, first I'm going to distribute that, 1 divided by a to the nth over b to the nth. But then that really just means we flip and then multiply. So the bottom line is, and this is what you're going to put in your notes, when you have a fraction, a, b to the negative x, when you have a fraction with a negative exponent, you just flip the fraction and make the exponent positive. You just flip the fraction and make the exponent positive. That's the only thing that I couldn't get this foldable to include. So, if I have a problem like this, and you'll do this problem in your notes, write it down. It's 3x over y squared to the negative 3. If I want to solve it, I just flip it. Y squared over 3x to the third power. And then I just do what I've just been doing for the past, my entire life. Y, what does this become? Y to the what? 6th, and then 3 to the third, which is what? We've done it 100 times. 27, and then x to the third. So, when you have a fraction with a negative exponent, you just flip it and make it positive. How much time did we have left? Okay, 2 options. You can start on your homework, or we can practice some more. Do you want to work on some problems, or do you want to start on your homework? Homework. Okay, that sounds totally reasonable.